that you have, and then going into your home, she can take half of anything that's not attached to the house. I don't know if appliances matter, but because that usually comes with a house, fridge and stove and dishwasher and stuff. But anything inside the home, any artwork that you guys have, any furniture that you have, she can go after half of absolutely anything inside that house if she wants to. And then, of course, any toys that you have as well. So quads or skidoos, guns, musical equipment. Pick something that's worth $1,000. If she wants to go after half of any of that stuff, she can absolutely go through half of that. So you have to stack that up. You have to get your paperwork in order and be able to prove on paper that it's worth this here, this here, this here, and this here. And every single asset you have to be able to prove that you've put this on paper, it's worth this. And you're going to also want to make sure that your numbers are actually real numbers. If you have a used truck that you have to go in, okay, my truck's 10 years old, just go on Kijiji or Auto Trader, find out roughly what this thing is, and give a fair assessment of what something's value actually is. Because what I found out is that her numbers on all this stuff, because you have to present this to her as a package and say, look, we've gone through this. This is Brett's entire estate, and this is the number that we're going to give you. And they'll go, no, it's going to be way higher. And the numbers that they're going to give you for what your house is worth and what your car is worth and what all this stuff is worth that you're actually fighting over, her numbers are going to be way higher than yours. And that's what the lawyers come into play, is that you just keep dishing your 450 and you fight over what something is actually worth. It's a ridiculous situation. So if you can start in a place where, look, we've gone through, we've done our research on each one of these assets. Here's the paperwork on the stuff that's brought in, on the stuff that's after marriage, whatever it is, and this is our package. So, and this is where you get to leave it with your lawyer and just say, do your best. And they will. Now, maybe you had a wife that was helpful, that she helped you run your business, that she did all this stuff. She put money into the vehicle. She put money into stuff in your house. She bought the couch. She bought stuff. And then it's like, well, she bought the couch, give her the damn couch. Like, it's just easier to get rid of stuff. You'll find that you'll have a sense of attachment to things, and then all of a sudden you'll have no attachment to things. Because giving something away like that and having to sell a vehicle, having to sell an RV, and we camped all the time in an RV. It's a lot of personal memories there that are cherished, that are good, they're family things. And now it's just like, fucking sell it. And she even sent me a text one day, it's a really good time to sell the trailer. With assets too, one of the things that you can do, this will work out better for stuff that's paid for and that's older, is that when you sell something, if you sell something for $5,000, $10,000, whatever it is that you tell your customer, look, I'm going through this situation, we're going to do this much on a bill of sale, and then we're going to do this much cash. Because cash isn't going to help you at all. If you gave her a bunch of money that's cash money that you're saying, okay, well, I want all that back. I tried that. I gave my ex a bunch of money to start a business about a year before she left, but it was all cash. It turned out to be like $6,000. Didn't mean shit, because it's all he said, she said, and she doesn't have to admit shit, so she didn't. Cash means nothing. So what I did is I sold the RV for, I think, $8,000, and on paper it was $3,500, and I gave the rest as cash. And of course I used that to pay for my lawyer a couple of times, because $5,000 doesn't go very far in a divorce. But you can try doing stuff like that to help save yourself a couple of bucks. And then you bring it your receipt and say, no, I sold it for this much money. Half. There you go. And hopefully your lawyer can help you out with that. Again, might be worth a little bit of time to talk about that kind of stuff prior to doing that stuff. Something to consider as well is that until the day of divorce, where the judge stamps your last piece of paper and says, you two dipshits can't figure it out, now you're divorced, up until that day that you get that piece of paper, and whatever date that is, that's the date of divorce. Any assets obtained between the date of separation and the date of divorce are still marital assets. Summer of 2020, where I had to move, and then I decided I'm going to start this new company and I'm going to buy this house. And of course, now with my work, I had to buy a vehicle because I can't use a company vehicle and I'm driving an extra $100K a day. So I decided to start using my own vehicle for work, and then I had this house. I bought them both with my new company. And my story was to the bank, which was, I have this numbered company that I'm getting rid of. It's going to be folded once this divorce is complete. I'm going to take everything that was this company and just change the name, put it over into this company. and I'm going to buy this house, and I'm going to buy this vehicle. What happened is that halfway through this fight for the marital assets, they find out that this is all bought through my company, or this is all bought through me, whatever it was, and they put a lien on the house and they put a lien on the car. Now keep in mind, their plan was for me to move to Strathmore, and I did this. I did this to have custody of my kids, and I did this to keep my job, which is pretty important if you want to pay bills, especially post-divorce bills, which are a little bit higher than they used to be. Then they go and they decide, we're going to take half of that house and we're going to take half of that car. Anyway, what happened is you go and you put liens on things, which means that you're not allowed to sell them now because they're part of this whole investigation, divorce, whatever it is. And you pay a lawyer to go through 2 more assets and we're going to get some more money out of Brett. Oh, yeah, here it comes. Anybody who's bought anything before knows that if you finance the shit out of things and you've only made a payment on them, there's not a whole lot left to fight over as far as equity on a house. So they found out that you've only paid $650 on the house. There's not a whole lot there to fight over. And then if we go to the car and they say, well, you've only made 1 payment on the car, so there's this much money to fight over on the car. All of a sudden, you've paid your lawyer a few hours to find out that if you go after these 2 assets, it's going to go in your debt pile, which means you're going to get money off of your plaintiff money. So they soon drop that very quickly.
We could make trillions.
Why make trillions when we could make billions?
Keep in mind, anything bought between now to the date of divorce is considered a marital asset. Be very careful about buying stuff because she can absolutely go after half of that too. So don't tell her about it, whatever it was. She found out about this stuff because I'm living there in Strathmore already for the last 6 months of fighting, and she saw the car in the driveway and she saw the house that I'm living in. And she went after both of those assets too. So don't think that people aren't going to be absolute greasy cunts about this, because they will absolutely be greasy cunts and not even feel bad about it. It's interesting to see people's character.